As soon as I got inside, I went to see who the main boss was, and it was Gamera. I said, how is this possible for Gamera to be inside of a Godzilla game? I started to think that was not a special release, but something worse. It's at this time, I should say, that almost every level had these tanks inside of them. Usually Zilla would destroy them with a kick, punch, or a power breath. The level inside Ushmis were only spaceships, and these were weird buildings. And when I went into the building icons, it was really futuristic city and a bunch of annoying tanks. I should say that I really didn't play as Mothra, even though I liked Mothra. I overall think that she wouldn't have a sidekick like Godzilla and Zilla. But for these building levels, I decided to use Mothra. Then I found a Mothra larva, started playing as Mothra, and it was like Zilla. She faced the other way that I was facing, and the larval attacks were shooting silk and green beams. Shortly after I found the larva, I found this weird looking monster facing the way I was. I thought it was another sidekick, but the larva started shooting her green beam at it, and a weird monster faced towards me, and it started to attack me. It turns out this was the monster of the level. I started to fight the monster, but every time I hit it, it hit back, knocking me back to the bottom left corner. One of the reasons why I didn't play as Mothra. But the larva shooted silk at the monster, trapping it, and then I fired the final blow, which was an eye beam. Then the spaceship levels, I played as Godzilla's for most of them, but some of them I had to use Godzilla for the building levels. Same thing, I had to use Mothra sometimes for the spaceship levels. This level was pretty easy, as the only obstacle was the tanks, but Zilla took care of them really fast. I thought there would be no boss, but there was a giant helicopter that was super annoying, but I hit it with a final blow, combined effort from Godzilla and Zilla's atomic breath and power breath. I had to use almost every last of my energy on that level, and the only boss for this world was Gamera, which meant I needed to prepare anything. It was only 2 levels until Gamera. I figured it wouldn't be easy. I made up my mind who was fighting Gamera. Even with Mothra's new sidekick, I might have something good. I already knew I was choosing Godzilla. Zilla gives you an extra life, so I knew that I would have to use Godzilla. And now it is time to fight Gamera. I wasted no time using my atomic breath, but for some reason it wasn't able to fire. It was one shot and then a cooldown, a cheap move by the game. So I had to use mostly melee hits. I had watched Gamera, so I knew he would be a little goofy, but the sprite indicated that it would be the Heisei series, meaning that this would be a tough fight. I tried using the atomic breath, but there was a cooldown. I counted how long it was, and it was 15 seconds, so I had to make sure that the atomic breath hit him directly at that time. Gamera had his fire breath, so I had to constantly duck or jump to make sure that it would not hit me. I didn't pay attention, but I only had 4 bars of health left, but Gamera had 3. And I knew Zilla's extra life would heal me up to halfway, so I used my atomic breath, but then I was out of power. So everything was bad timing, so I was able to lose all my health, then the timer went off, so I had to finish the fight with somebody else. So I had to choose Mothra. And I went in as Mothra. I saw that I was Aqua Mothra. My attacks were extremely powerful. Only one hit and Gamera was gone. And I saw his sprite glowing red, and I knew I had to get out of there. So I tried starting flying away. Mothra's special attack was Aqua mode, so I was able to change to Lightspeed Mothra and fly extremely fast. I saw an explosion coming right behind me, but the place I was about to fly out of, but the place I was at was made up of all the other sprites in the game. It was extremely creepy, but I was at the exit. I was extremely relieved, and it was time for the next world. I was so scared to see what was coming next.